Okay, so today I'm going to be doing something slightly different. I'm going to be messing about a bit with this Election Enjoyer simulator. Yes, this is something that I've only just become aware of, really. I was vaguely aware of it, I guess, before, but yeah, yesterday I was led to a link of it and yeah, discovered it was a lot more complex and realistic and sophisticated than I expected. So, as a sort of demonstration, I guess at first, let's simulate the next presidential election. So, if we click on Democratic primary here, we can choose which of these candidates we want to have, and these are sort of the most likely 10 or so, I think. We can delete or add as we choose, like moderate, progressive, establishment. So yeah, and if once we start running it, as we will do here, so if you can choose the order of the primaries to go in, and so the official order which we're going to go for is South Carolina first. And so if we click, so we can choose based on a realistic forecast based on the polls, or a wild night where the polls are off. But basically we will see a simulation that's realistic on the basis of demographics and such like, according to which candidate appeals most to them. And they do this in all the simulations. You can do this in all the simulations that are available. So midterm elections, a Senate, gubernatorial election, presidential primaries, and presidential elections themselves. So let's click play and see how it unfolds with all these 10 candidates. And you can see we're still counting here. You can speed it up as the case may be. And there doesn't seem to be anything going on at the moment, so yeah, let's go back to the national map, and yes, indeed, something has happened now. So yeah, Harris has won South Carolina easily, almost 60% of the vote. And this is one of the things about what could be interesting, because if Harris runs, which I'm still not convinced of, by the way, I'm not overly convinced of, I think she could want to be more of a power broker than an actual candidate, but we'll see. But if she does run, then this will be a potentially strong start for her, because the African American vote, which she seems to appeal to these days more. She didn't, I say these days because she didn't used to, like the first time she ran, she didn't, in 2020, where she had to drop out before there was a single vote cast. She wasn't really embraced by the African American community, and indeed she didn't do all that well for a Democrat in 2024 as the nominee either. I mean, Trump increased the vote for a Republican to like highest for decades, I think. We'll see whether that holds up in future elections. But anyway, and so Nevada, AOC has won Nevada, a much closer race here, and New Hampshire is counting. So actually, let's see how this unfolds. It's a 20% in, and as you can see, so now up to 25%. And yeah, so this is what I mean by realistic a realistic feel. You can actually click. I won't click. I did click on it on South Carolina before, and you can see the sort of page that makes it even more realistic. So yeah, so detailed results, and you can see all the needle on the right here, chance of winning and estimated margin, and county by county results, demographic strongholds, yeah, and all this good stuff here. So I mean, this is a dream basically for those who are interested in psephology and such like. And there's other countries have versions of it. There's a British version, there's a French version, there's a Canadian version, there's one or two others I think as well. And it's only in its early stages, relatively early stages. I can see this becoming even more realistic, and they've only got 3 historical scenarios, the 2016 and the 2020 primaries, so I'm hoping they expand on that and you can, simulate Dewey against Truman or whatever. That'll be fun anyway. So let's see how this unfolds. So Ocasio-Cortez has won New Hampshire and Nevada, which she needed to after Harris's big win in South Carolina, and Harris is doing well in New Mexico, it looks like. So where you would expect AOC to do well, really. Big Hispanic vote, obviously. So yeah, Harris is clearly the front runner at the moment. Pete Buttigieg is doing well in Michigan, which is sort of made his home state these days. He considered running there for the Senate this year. He didn't in the end. Yeah, of course. In the modern day, Indiana is not a very good state for any aspiring Democrat. So. And Virginia, yeah, Harris, you'd expect Harris to sweep here, I'd say. Kind of a mixture of establishment and whites and African Americans. And yeah, Super Tuesday this would be, or some kind of Super Tuesday. And this is another example of how Harris might end up doing well with the Southern vote. Obviously largely African American. If she gets a big block of support there, she'd be hard to beat, actually, I'd say. She'd certainly be a strong contender. And so these are little custom things you can do. So when a candidate exits the race, you can choose which other candidate they support. I'm going to say that Pritzker would support Gavin Newsom, actually. So yeah. Let's say Beshear supports Newsom as well. Let's try and gang everyone up against Harris. Because they wouldn't be happy with her winning the nomination. Booker seems like a perfect person for Newsom to endorse anyway, to be honest. Or to endorse Newsom, I should say. Mark Kelly, let's say he goes for Newsom as well. Moderate from Arizona, former astronaut. And so she might have trouble winning enough delegates here, because New York, Pennsylvania, quite a lot of the Northeast to go. Talking of the Northeast, Shapiro as well. She's still got Georgia. That will be a good state for her. That's probably Louisiana as well. Skip ahead a bit. So Wisconsin, AOC has won Wisconsin easily. although losing Waukesha County, which is one of the WOW counties, sort of prosperous suburbs, quite strongly Republican. It's sort of, again, that sort of realistic, based on the demographics appeal of the candidates, I think. And Ohio, Buttigieg is doing well in Ohio. He's going to win Ohio. But Harris has won, Cleveland, Cuyahoga, and Buttigieg has won Cincinnati or Hamilton County. Again, realistic, I'd say. I mean, Buttigieg's slightly more prosperous appeal than Harris, I'd say. Prosperous whites. I think Cincinnati is a whiter and more prosperous city than Cleveland. So Buttigieg and AOC fighting it out in Nebraska, kind of all kinds of differences in the counties here, very split sort of thing going on. So we've got, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey would be, you'd think AOC would be doing well there, but in Connecticut as well. And talking of PA, Harris and Newsom, okay. AOC isn't doing well there at all, actually. Buttigieg, South Dakota, he has won easily. So she's having trouble with getting the majority of delegates. She'll win. Oh, so Newsom is winning. Should win some delegates out of Georgia, so that'll be good for him. He needs to stay over 15% though, which is declining a bit. It's declining as Atlanta comes in. And we see that Vance has won the GOP nomination. Yeah, so this is an example of the tension. If he drops below 50, he's just stayed above 15%. So that's, and here we see where Harris is picking up delegates from New York. If she stays above 15%. But AOC is sweeping New York, as you would expect. So Harris is still over 200 delegates short, with only New Jersey and Louisiana, and I think to go, maybe Connecticut as well. Well, 5 contests overall to go. Oh, see, as it's winning New Jersey, that could be crucial. Still 100 less than 100 now. Hopefully I want it to go to the convention to see them, to show off the metric there. Although I don't think it will. I think she needs to win Connecticut and then hope that Connecticut and one other. There's Connecticut and one other, so here's Connecticut. She's winning Connecticut actually, but basically no margin. I mean, there's 3 other candidates in the same ballpark, and 1 contest to go, so she's going to be short, I think. 1919, and with Newsom, AOC and Buttigieg having a lot of delegates, and Kelly having some delegates, but he has dropped out. So this is the brokered convention, the fabled brokered convention. I was going to there was an option to play it to influence it on your own terms as a candidate, but I'm just going to let it play out. And actually it doesn't look like So Massachusetts, Michigan. I mean, Newsom is winning delegates in the South, it looks like. So that's taking delegates away from Harris in the South. So probably the Jim Clyburns are... although she's won all delegates in North Carolina, that's very useful for her. Oregon, Pennsylvania. So it should be, I wonder if it'll be exactly the same. It could be exactly the same as it is on the initial count during the primaries, which it will be. Yeah, it is. So so you can decide the vote. No, actually, let's see what happens. Let it play out. Super delegates are leaning towards Harris, so that should be enough for her when it turns out, when all is said and done. But we'll see. So, second ballot. So she still hasn't got a majority. She says so even after the super delegates, she's still short of a majority. So this is interesting, yeah. Yeah. I mean, Nick Harris against Newsom just isn't the most, how shall I put it, differential contest, is it? It's kind of, they come from the same, obviously, region. They come from the same sort of wing of the Democratic Party, which is the not always the most electable part, quite frankly, but so she's won the second time of asking, she's won via the automatic delegates. So she has to choose a running mate. Let's say she chooses Ossoff. She doesn't go for anyone who actually, who was one of the main contenders. He goes for Ossoff. And yeah, so this is the simulation of the actual election, general election night. So you can see, you know, Georgia's crucial state coming in here. You can choose to go through it as quickly, as slowly, or as slowly as you want. Just trying to see what the indicators are here based on the counties. So Loudoun County is getting almost 60%, so that's a good sign for her, I'd say. Losing, she's coming close in Miami-Dade. She's winning Palm Beach handily, so the signs for her so far are good, I'd say. Let's just skip. Yeah, I mean, surely she's 78% in Pennsylvania, and Philadelphia is only 60% reporting. So don't know why they're not calling that really, but 5% ahead in Michigan. Still a lot of Detroit to go, and yeah, ahead in Wisconsin as well. And she's won Georgia by 7.6 and North Carolina by 4.2 and kept Florida within 7. not too bad in Iowa and Ohio and Iowa is it's reduced the margins there. It's just won Virginia by almost 15, and New Jersey not embarrassingly close as it was last time. So skip to the end, I think. Yeah. And so the overall win is 5.5% and 319 to 219 electoral votes. Kansas 10% margin, 13% margin. In Nebraska, Texas was respectably close. See, won Arizona and won Nevada. California almost 30 and 4% in the end in Pennsylvania, 5 in Michigan, over 5 in Wisconsin. Yeah, we looked at these two. Florida, New Hampshire was over 10. Maine was almost 13. Iowa was 7.5 or so. Illinois, Minnesota was over 10. What was Utah, where the Democrats have dreamed of? It's fairly comfortable for Vance. Alaska, what was that? That was pretty close, 4.8 anyway. So that's just a playthrough of, as it were, of Election Enjoyer on Election Simulator. So just wanted to put that out there, advertise it for free or whatever. So thanks for watching.